Users of Reddit, what's a bad thing you did and now you have to live with it? I did a bad thing and now I have to live with it. 12 years ago, when I was 18, I visited my cousin's home for vacation like I usually do every year. Next to his house, there was this woman lived with her husband and 2 daughters. Just like always, we usually spent a lot of our time at her place playing cards and watching movies. She was so kind and beautiful. I loved her. She was also pretty cool around me. One day, while my cousins were out, I went to her house and found her alone doing chores. We talked, and she opened up about her life. She was actually venting, but my focus was on her body. Knowing she was vulnerable at the moment, I started to flirt with her. Assuming she wouldn't have any objection, I started to caress her back, and then within no time I hugged and kissed her. At first she stood there surprised, but since I didn't stop, she kissed me back. And we ended up having sex. The whole thing just happened under 15 minutes. Yeah, I suck, and I am 100% sure I didn't satisfy her. I left and went to cousin's house. More I thought about what had just happened, more I panicked, fearing her husband would find out. The next day, she acted as if nothing had happened, so when I got the chance I asked about it and she said it was a one-time thing and I am still a teenager and I don't have to worry cause she's not going to tell anyone, and told me to do the same. Which relieved me. I stayed there for 2 more weeks before returning home. Then I got busy with my college and lost touch with them. The last time I saw her was at her daughter's wedding. We talked a little, and then she got busy with other guests. 2 years later, I learned from my mother that she had committed suicide. I called my cousin and asked about the details, and he told me that her husband was abusive to her mentally and physically, and that she had been struggling for years, and he had seen her crying and complaining about her life to my aunt. I was devastated, regretting that I had only focused on my desires instead of her pain. I don't even know why she cooperated with my advances, maybe out of pity. I am not sure, but thinking back about that day, I might have noticed some bruises under her dress. Everything is a blur now, and I am worried that my brain is intentionally blocking the images. And last time I met her on that wedding, she didn't look happy but tired. I even stalked her daughter on FB to look through her old wedding photos to see if she looked happy. There were rumors that her husband was involved in her death, especially since he remarried just 3 months into her death. I should have noticed the signs. I have seen him being sore loser and exhibit anger after losing a card game even when there is nothing at stake. I have seen him fighting with his daughter because she had a boyfriend. I knew both of his daughters were terrified of him, but that is pretty much normalized in my country. One time, he and I got into a political argument. I rebutted all his points, and he became so furious and serious that his wife had to intervene to protect me. But he was funny every other time and won't hesitate to spend money for food and other items when I am around. I should have done something. I don't know what, but something that would kept her alive. Her passing affected me deeply, leading me to SH during my college days. I've kept this secret for years, even from my present psychiatrist. I am ashamed of myself and I thought it is better to keep it hidden. I believed I kinda got over it since it has been years and I left home and moved to Bahrain as part of my job. But now, her younger daughter sent me a request on Instagram which brought all those memories flooding back. It seems like I have to live with this guilt for the rest of my life.